This digital story has been created with Prue Firth, representing Robert Philp, which, as a founder of the company Burns Philp, is a 2009 inductee of the Queensland Business Leaders Hall of Fame.
My great-grandfather, Robert Philp, was a well-known merchant and politician in the late 19th and early 20th century. He was a founding partner, with James Burns, in Burns Philp, which had humble origins as a general store in Townsville, but grew into a large public company with shipping and trade interests across Australia and internationally. The company had stores throughout Queensland and the South Pacific, and offices as far afield as London. There's a fair bit on the public record about these activities, so I'll mention some other aspects of his life. Robert Philp was born in Scotland and came to Queensland in 1862 with his parents and brother and sister. He left school early to work for Bright Brothers, a firm of shipping agents. Despite his limited formal schooling, Robert Philp set great store by good education. He wanted all children, including his own, to have the best possible opportunities. He was instrumental in the establishment of Townsville Grammar School in the 1880s and the University of Queensland later in life. It's fitting that his daughters, in memory of their father, provided the land at Toowong where Brisbane Boys College now stands. A number of articles on Robert Philp suggest he had very few complications in his life, but like many in that era, his life was touched by personal tragedy. When he was 21, he lost his mother and young niece when the schooner Agnes disappeared in bad weather off the central Queensland coast. He set off to look for them, but nothing was ever found. In 1878, Robert married Jessie Campbell. They quickly had children, including 2 sets of twins. However, in each case, only one twin survived. Jessie herself was only 34 when she died, leaving Robert with 7 children aged from 11 down to 2 weeks. The great sadness of this was brought home to me recently when I was looking at old newspapers. I saw an advertisement in a Brisbane Courier a few months after Jessie's death. It was placed by her mother, Mrs. James Campbell, seeking a healthy and reliable wet nurse for a 3-month-old baby. Jessie's death must have been devastating for Robert and the children. This period coincided with the depression of the 1890s, and he was forced to sell down his holdings in Burns Philp. He couldn't continue as a director. At that stage, he was concentrating more on politics. Robert Philp was a member of the Queensland Parliament for nearly 30 years and was Premier on 2 occasions. He declined the offer of a seat in the first federal Parliament because Queensland had money and drought problems, and he felt he owed it to the people to stay and help. I'm sure the desire to stay close to family also played a part. My great-grandfather was a passionate supporter of Queensland, and particularly North Queensland. He was also a loving father and grandfather who instilled in his family a sense of service to the wider community.